Transition isn't my thing, so.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a 29-year-old Navy veteran by the name of Richie Trace, who was a man for 27 years, and then in the past 2 years became a woman. So now they identify as a transgender woman. This person decided to compete in the skate tournament against young girls. I'm talking about between the ages of 10 and 17 for the most part. And of course, because they were a man for 27 years, a Navy veteran, they won the tournament, defeating a 13-year-old girl in the process. Now, when I saw this story, I was like, come on. All right, look, sir, you want to identify as whatever you want to identify. You want to identify as sir, ma'am, Sam, whatever your pronouns are. All right, go ahead. But come on, man. You're competing against little kids and defeating little kids in the skate tournament. I mean, why? What's the purpose? Now, I have an article here from Daily Mail. We're going to get a little information about this person, Richie Trace, formerly known as Richard Bartrace. And then we're going to get into a video interview that Daily Mail did with this person so you get more information. But let's focus right here, right now. And of course, all my links will be in the description box if you want to see it and read it without my commentary. But you see the headline here. Exclusive, quote, I'm not going to go easy on them just because they're kids. Trans skateboarder 29 defends competing against young girls and insists she doesn't have a physical advantage. That's like the Bernie Mac defense, right? F them kids, essentially. I don't care if they're kids, so what? I'm not going to go easy on them. But we see some of the subheads. Richie Trace, 29, spoke to DailyMail.com exclusively about her victory over a 13-year-old girl at the weekend. Probably at the weekend tournament. She said she doesn't think she has an advantage despite being biologically male because she's not buff. I feel like when they do stories like this involving a trans person, they overuse pronouns. She. Can we say something else besides she? How many, if you played a drinking game, every time the word she came up, you'd be dead at the end. But anyway, Trace, formerly Richard Bartrace, as I said, has been on hormones for 2 years, but has not had reassignment surgery. So they out there with their full twig and berries in the whole 9 yards, but they've been on certain little pills that will reduce their testosterone. Also, what I found out is that Richie Trace tried out for the Olympics, but was rejected because of too much testosterone in their body. So you got too much testosterone for the Olympics, but not too much to go out there and defeat little 10, 12, 13-year-old girls in the skate tournament. Is that what we're saying? I guess so. But anyway, she says skateboarding is more rooted in skill and determination than physicality. Let's be serious, man. If you have any kind of disability, you're not able to really move around like that, that's going to put you at a disadvantage. Okay, let's just reality. It's a physical. It's sports. We ain't talking about something where there's no physicality involved. It's sports. So of course you're going to have an advantage when you have a different physical body going on. She plans to continue competing in open contests to raise her ranking and one day get a spot on Team USA. Trace revealed to DailyMail.com she now lives on the opposite side of the country from her 3 young kids. Oh, that's something else. Aside from being a Navy veteran and being a man for 27 years, this person was also married to a woman and they have 3 kids with their, I guess, ex-wife. I don't presume they're married anymore since this person moved away from their kids and everything else. Now, I'm not going to get into this entire article right here. I just want you to know that the person that they defeated was named Shiloh Katori, a 13-year-old girl. Okay. And then there was a 16-year-old girl, I think a 10-year-old girl that he defeated in this tournament. Right. Now, this is Richie right here. Okay. This is Richie. And this is Richie before, back in the Richard Bartrace days. You know, you got a whole Harley Davidson or whatever that is with the kids on the back. All right. A full beard and everything else. That's Bartrace in the Navy. Okay, you got a whole military man right here, and then okay, now I'm gonna be on hormones and whatnot. And I think the reason they said they came out is because they felt guilty about constantly cross-dressing. So this was the solution. Now, let's get into the interview here, and I may not play this entire thing, but I'll play a good piece of it so we can see what's going on.
I find that funny because that's like what I'm getting beat up about the most is like, you're beating little kids and little girls. And I'm just like, I didn't intend to do that. Like, this was the first competition that I've been to that I actually wanted to win. It makes me really happy to see that there's kids that young that are in competitions and they're shredding and even placing in the high ranks. So
now, to be fair, what I read was that this competition invited adults to compete against children. Okay, that's what I read. But I think this person picked this particular event because it'd be easy. Because you got little kids out there like 10 years old versus a fully grown. This person probably has kids that are the same age as people that he defeated in the tournament.
So that's like incredible. To me, that's not any reason to like not win a competition or something. Like, I'm not going to go there and be like, oh, I'll go easy on them because they're kids. The skill level's, again, really determined by your determination, your tenacity to just like put yourself on top and through these obstacles. It has nothing to do with your age.
Do you think that you have a physical advantage?
Okay.
It's not a hard question to answer. You know, if you got to do all this looking around trying to find the answer, that means you're trying to find a lie, some kind of way to excuse your obvious physical advantage. I mean, come on, man. You're in the military. You have to pass certain tests to get to the military. Even though now you're on hormones that will take some of that away, you still, at the end of the day, are who you are.
I don't think so. Mostly because I mean, I don't really understand what that means besides like someone that's stronger. You know, like you would assume that a big man is stronger than a big woman. So
man, come on, stop the nonsense. Like, being big is not just about being big as a man. You have advantages physically. Floyd Mayweather is not a big man. He's a small man, but he would knock pretty much anybody out. It's not even about being big.
But me, I'm like, look at me. I'm not like buff or anything, you know? I don't work out really. I just skateboard. I don't think skateboarding has anything to do with physicality, especially when we look at like kids these days, literally kids.
There are some people who think that sport should be divided into 3 categories: biological men, biological women, and everybody else. What do you think of that?
I agree.
I don't think that's the right answer. And that's pretty much like as far as that goes. Like, because there's so many suggestions. And
or how about this? How about just have it the way it always has been? Biological men and biological women. It doesn't matter how you identify. Like, this person right here is biological man, X, Y man. So he should just compete against the men. It don't matter how you look or how you dress or whatever, right? That's how it should be. Like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman go out there. He would wear a wedding dress the night before an NBA Finals game and go out there and get 45 rebounds. That's the way it should be.
It kind of goes in hand with all the feedback that I'm receiving from people. Like, a lot of it is negative and a lot of it is positive. Some of it is kind of just neutral, giving recommendations, and I love that, honestly. Like, I think it's all necessary. You know, like, people need to get angry, people need to be happy, and then people need to be in the middle, and then everyone comes together, and hopefully we come up with something. But as far as like segregating everything like that, I just personally, I don't think that's the right way, only because, I mean, I don't know if any of my reasoning is valid, but I feel like that would be like calling us different. Like,
oh, you think? Yeah, yes, you are. I mean, you are identifying as something different. Like, but I guess the party line for these people is that there's no difference between him or her or them or whatever the pronouns are and a regular everyday woman. But that's just simply not the case. You see, you still got your male genitalia and all that stuff. I mean, come on, man. Let's just cut the nonsense. You're not going to ovulate. You're not going to menstruate. You're not going to have a baby. You're not going to have any of those things. Ain't no cystic fibrosis. Ain't no fibroids. Ain't none of that going on. Okay?
Like a different human race or some kind of like different type of human, when we're not. We're really all the same in some way. Like, we all have so many things in common, although we look at each other and we know that we're all very different. So
if we're all the same in some kind of way, then why do you have on makeup and hair and eyelashes, eyebrows and hormones and all that stuff? If we're all the same, what's the point of doing that then? It doesn't make any sense now, does it?
I just don't think that's the right one. Although I heard a really good one. You want to hear it? Okay, so this I'm not saying this is the right one either, but it's like the closest thing to what I've found to like
The giggling is wearing me out, though. I tell you what.
Some sense of equality, like something that's like weight orientated, like something based off of like body mass and weight, or we could even do like I don't.
A novel idea. We already have weight classes in many sports, like boxing, for example, UFC, stuff like that. There's already weight classes, but you still have division for men and women, because a 135-pound male is vastly different than a 135-pound female. It's not any contest at all. So let's not play that game.
Want to say it this way, but because it's just so difficult when we're trying to create like some kind of like a controlled group of some sort, because there has to be some sense of like putting people in a box. You know, if you're a man, you compete there. If you're a woman, you compete there. And then it's like at this point, it's like, well, she says she's a woman, but we don't believe her or something, and like, let's test her. So I took all these, random tests, the testosterone test, the estrogen test, and like had to, I don't know if I probably got prodded like by a needle to get some samples to get that out. So it was like a little intrusive, so.
Okay, I've heard enough. I'll place the rest of this in the description so you can see it if you want to see it for yourself. But I've heard enough. So that was Richie Trace, formerly known as Richard Bartrace. Clearly just a nickname from the previous name they had. Okay, that was probably the Navy name that this person had. As I close, I want to say this. This is just simply not fair. Whatever you want to identify as, that's fine. That's totally fine. I have no problem. But you should still compete with your biological gender, or don't compete at all. You can't go and say it's okay to compete against 10-year-old girls as a 30-year-old man biologically and say it's okay and it's no problem. You have no advantage. I mean, let's just be serious. An adult woman has an advantage over a 10-year-old girl. You as a biological XY male clearly have an advantage over a 10-year-old biological girl. This is just silly, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this whole situation? Do you think that it's fair? Is it unfair? Is this person just trying to take advantage of a situation to gain accolades? Is it Joanna Man in real life? Is it the same thing as the other person? What was this guy? Bret the Hitman Hart. You know what I'm talking about. Leah Thomas. Is it that same situation? You're competing as a man for a long time. Then you say, you know what? I want to become a woman. And I'm going to compete against them and I'm going to dominate. Is that kind of what's happening here? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I stand on the situation. It's unfair. It's not right. You have the right to identify as whatever you want. You can put on whatever kind of clothes you want as an adult. That's your prerogative, right? But it's not your prerogative to interfere with someone else's rights, to interfere with someone else's league and sports they have set up for themselves. They are on the even playing field. You coming into a situation, making the playing field uneven. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not okay. And shout out to all the girls who were affected by this. My heart goes out to you. You didn't deserve it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.